Texas is set to put a Mexican man to death tomorrow. This is a man convicted of killing a police officer by pumping 3 bullets into the back of his head. But Mexico is fighting this execution, saying it would violate international law. And Secretary of State John Kerry says it could endanger Americans abroad. Judge Andrew Napolitano is our Fox News senior judicial analyst. Judge, great to see you.
Ali, good to be with you.
Does Mexico have any say in how we here punish their citizens?
Well, they would like to think that they do, but fortunately, thanks to a recent U.S. Supreme Court opinion, they don't. You see, the United States entered into a treaty with Mexico and other countries, which says that whenever anyone from another country is arrested in the United States for a felony, a crime for which the maximum punishment exceeds a year in jail, the federal government is required to notify the consulate of the country from which the person came so that they can provide financial and legal assistance. So when this guy was arrested in Houston for blowing away the head of a cop, the federal government did not notify Mexico. It is now 20 years later. It has taken 20 years between the commission of this crime and the carrying out of the punishment, which is scheduled for tomorrow. And now his lawyers are saying, you know what, because you didn't call Mexico 20 years ago, we don't want him to be executed. They're not saying he was unfairly tried. They're not saying he didn't do it. They're just saying he shouldn't be executed because Mexico doesn't have the death penalty. There's a disconnect here. There is no law that requires the state of Texas to notify the Mexican authorities, but only the federal government to do so.
Then why is John Kerry concerned so much about this execution and saying that it could endanger Americans abroad? In other words, is it that if we don't honor the fact that Mexico abolished their death penalty in 2005, that other countries could use their own rules and not respect ours?
That is probably Secretary Kerry's concern. I don't think even he is suggesting that this guy is innocent or that this guy did not get a fair trial. This problem of who notifies the foreign country actually came up in 2008. And the Supreme Court of the United States said that President Bush, George W. Bush, who tried to stop an execution in Texas, not this guy, but another guy, also from Mexico, did not have the authority to do so because the treaty between the United States and Mexico only affects the federal government. It doesn't regulate the state government. So I really think that this fellow's lawyer's arguments are going to fall on deaf ears.
But very quickly, when a foreign criminal commits a crime here in the U.S., do we have the ultimate say of how we punish that person?
Yes. Often the state in which the crime was committed has that say, since most of these crimes are state crimes and not federal crimes.
Mexico has tried before to stop it in 2008, 2011.
That's the one I'm talking about. They did not succeed. I don't think they'll succeed this time.
Judge.
And I hope Secretary Kerry's wrong. I think his heart's in the right place, but I think his judgment is wrong.
Great to see you. Thanks so much, Judge.
Pleasure.